Alright guys, after nearly a month of making Digimon guides, I think this is going to be the biggest one that sort of builds upon all of the others, and that's going to be a full achievement / platinum trophy guide for Digimon Story Time Stranger. Now, given that I've made so much content on the game already, I'm going to be leaving a bunch of relevant guides expanding on different aspects of the game, timestamped to the corresponding relevant portion of the video in the description so that we can keep things relatively timely. I'm going to be breaking up this guide into several parts and subparts, grouping trophies together where we can, and by the end of this, you should have no problem getting yourself that platinum trophy. All that being said, make sure to sit back, relax, subscribe for more monster taming videos, and let's dive in. Okay, so the parts I'm going to be breaking this up to will be consisting of your first playthrough of the game, the post-game, preparation for Mega Plus difficulty, and ultimately your second playthrough of the game, which yes, you have to play through the game twice, but there's an exploit that'll let you get the second playthrough finished much more easily. So first of all, you've got to beat the game, and that'll unlock a pretty significant portion of the game's trophies. A couple of things to do during the story to make your life a little bit easier for later. Make sure during the Sharkmon boss fight, you hit it with Aegiomon's special attack for the achievement A Mighty Blow, as it requires you to hit an enemy with multiple weaknesses at once, and it's basically free here. You should also get the achievements for your first Digivolution and D-Digivolution and a 200% conversion during your playthrough. You can play through the game on story difficulty if you wish, so there's no need to have any sort of optimized team just yet. Make sure that you're specifically focusing on the agent skills of Valor, Philanthropy, Amicability, and Wisdom in general, as you're going to have to max a lot of these out in order to get certain Digimon, and they just give you some of the best buffs in general. Make sure during your playthrough you focus on unlocking all of the evolution of Wisdom and evolution of Philanthropy agent skills as soon as you can, as they'll make it a lot easier to evolve crucial Digimon by reducing their stats. That said, if you want to get ahead of the groove, you can absolutely get yourself 2 Kuramon during the initial chapter of the game, both at 200%. Then, as you progress the game, you're going to want to Digivolve them into Pagumon, then Impmon, then Bakemon, then Phantomon, to Piedmon, and eventually Apocalypmon. Having these two especially will be important later. You're going to want to shift their personalities to strategic once they're Impmon for easier evolutions. Also make sure to grab a Punimon from the first area as well, who will become the basis for a future Dark Aegiochusmon and a Jupitermon for their corresponding trophies. Finally, you can get yourself a Poyomon or Tokomon during your first time in the sewer area, and that's going to evolve up into Terriermon, then Moijamon, then Pixiemon, and finally Venusmon as you play through the game. Make sure once it's Terriermon, you shift its personality to Tolerant for an easier evolution as well. The easiest way to shift personalities is via the Digifarm through training, and linked below will be a guide on exactly how personality shifting works. If you've unlocked those agent skills that I mentioned earlier, the stat requirements will be lower if the personality of the Digimon you're using has a matching personality with its evolution, and if you follow the personalities I mentioned, then those stat requirements will be in play. Once you've beaten the final boss and the credits roll, you'll be able to load up your save, and we'll be back just before the boss, where you can go to the in-between theater and talk to the Overseers in order to unlock the time jump ability. Once you've done this, we can now focus on the second phase of achievement hunting, which involves completing all side quests and prepping for Mega Plus. The side quests are pretty straightforward. They'll appear on your map and will tell you exactly where to go, but there are a few of note that you should look out for. There are 3 particular quests that have to do with finding different characters that are not directly pointed to and are up to the player to find themselves. One of them is a bunch of Etemon that you can auto attack in the past version of the human world. The next is a bunch of Kuramon that you can defeat in the present version of the human world, which these ones are marked on your map, making it pretty easy. And finally, there's the Hiroko memory, which are scattered across all of the different areas of the game. You also have the outer dungeons that you have to find and complete as well. So linked below, I'm going to leave 4 different guides, all of which will showcase exactly where to get everything you need for these quests. As you complete various side quests, including the Royal Knight missions, which again are very straightforward, I don't think I need to hold your hand through these. Enemies will keep appearing at the OMNI Carnival, which will likely be the very last side quest you complete, because in order to fight all enemies, it requires other side quests to be completed. Every time a new opponent is made available, you'll get notified, and this happens a lot. So if you've exhausted all of the possible battles and the quest hasn't been completed yet, it's because you haven't actually brought all of the potential challengers to the Colosseum, which will be brought by just completing more side quests. Completing all of the side quests will complete the Royal Knights trophy, the Card Battle trophy. You should also get the Card of Legend trophy just by beating these side quests as well. And you'll have enough anomaly points to get to rank 10, which will unlock the corresponding trophy for that as well. Once you've unlocked all of the agent skills, we can move on to the final stage before the Mega Plus difficulty completion trophy, and that's basically your Mega Plus prep and cleanup phase. For this, you're going to want to prepare a few things. You're going to want to get that Venusmon, the Great Embrace personality skill, and get 2 Apocalypmon with the Combo Magic personality skill. The 4th Digimon we're going to be using is Jupitermon with the Stout Strength personality skill, and the other 2 are honestly just up to preference. For Jupitermon in particular, make sure you get your hands on Elecmon, who is evolved from Sunomon, who is evolved from that Punimon I told you about. When it comes to digivolving into Aegiochusmon Dark, it'll be easiest if you have the Reckless personality, which he can then digivolve into Chronomon, down to Aegiochusmon Dark, down to Aegiomon, up to Aegiochusmon's other forms, and then up to Jupitermon. Check out my best Mega Plus team guide for more information on the overall setup, and if you want to understand why these particular personality skills are important, I do have a video going over the sort of exploit that exists with Combo Magic and Great Embrace. Again, all linked below. Remember that personality skills are achieved by shifting a Digimon's personality to a specific one and essentially spamming the Digifarm training until we are prompted to learn a new skill that matches the one we're looking for. Shifting personalities will also make evolution requirements easier to achieve for Chronomon and Aegiochusmon Dark, as mentioned previously. Use the Digifarm to max out your Digimon stats to 9999. This might take a while if you don't have a lot of money. If you have the DLC Outer Dungeons, gaining money is super easy. If not, you can farm against the Olympus 12, which you should have unlocked during your quests. Set the game to story mode and it'll be a cinch. You'll easily get the Training Digimon 30 times trophy for this. Okay, so now that you've maxed out your Digimon, the Unrivaled Strength trophy is pretty easy. Just go to an area with ultimate level Digimon or higher, make sure you're on story difficulty, and auto attack it. It'll go down in one hit. Next, we've got to beat all of the Outer Dungeons. If you haven't already, basically every single Outer Dungeon will have a special condition for you to complete. For the racing games, it's not to hit anything. For the Protect the Meat ones, you have to kill everything using first strikes, etc. If your game is in story mode and you have all these maxed out Digimon, this is going to be super easy for you. And finally, before we go to Mega Plus, we need to spend some money. You have to buy 10 cosmetic items, which you can get from the In-Between Theater shop. And if you really don't care about your money, you could just keep buying stuff, selling it back for half, buying it again, selling that for half, and just continue until you've spent 1,000,000 yen, and continue grinding for money and spending it as you will. That'll give you the spend 1,000,000 yen in shops trophy. And now we're going to head into New Game Plus. You can beat the game on story mode until just before the final boss, and then switch the difficulty up. We're going to lead with Venusmon, and you can use the 2 Apocalypmon I told you about. I actually played the entire game on Mega Plus, so I didn't run 2 Apocalypmons just because I wanted a little bit of team diversity, but basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to be using Love You with Venusmon first in order to overheal your Digimon. Make sure Venusmon has some sort of speed increasing attachment, so it always moves first. Then you're going to use Apocalypmon's special moves just to do 20% fixed damage, and essentially do this until the boss's health is low. Once it's low to the point where your 20% damage attacks don't do that much damage, then you're going to use its magic attacks, which will proc twice if you're overhealed. Again, that video linked below has all the information you need on why that happens, but basically you're going to be spamming your special moves and hitting him 4 times in a turn. It's going to be really easy to destroy this thing. I do have the full boss battle in Mega Plus difficulty linked below if you want to check that out. And there you go, guys. If you followed everything I went over in this video, you should now have yourself a platinum trophy, or whatever the Xbox equivalent to that is. I wanted to keep this video relatively timely, hence why there's a lot of resources in the description. I've put out a ton of Digimon Story Time Stranger guides at this point, so it would feel extremely redundant if I had to explain every single core mechanic in one video, which would end up making this video like an hour long. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments down below. I'll try to get back to anybody that asks anything, but this guide should really help you have a clear direction of what exactly you need to do. If you enjoyed the video or are a fan of Digimon or just monster taming games in general, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And just wanted to say special thanks to our supporters, especially Candy Moranci, Tragsoft, Valorware, Nemo, and Wrathful Beast, and we'll see you next time. Peace.